Have you ever wondered why your chest tightens for no reason at all? Why your breath catches in your throat when nothing around you has changed? Have you noticed how sometimes a wave of unexplainable restlessness moves through you, leaving you searching for answers that no doctor or friend can seem to provide? You feel it now, don't you? That trembling uncertainty that makes you question whether something is wrong with you, whether you're somehow broken or failing at the simple task of being human. But what if I told you that this very unease, this disturbance in your peace is not a sign of your weakness, but a signal of something far greater trying to reach you? You are sitting in your room right now, or perhaps in your car, and your phone rests in your hand. The screen glows softly against your face in the dimness, and you feel that familiar ache in your chest, that gnawing sense that something is missing even though you cannot name what it is. The air around you is still, but inside you there is movement, a stirring that will not settle. You have tried to explain it away. You have told yourself it is stress, it is the world, it is the endless demands that press against you every single day. But deep down, beneath all those rational explanations, you sense something else. You sense that this feeling is trying to tell you something. And you are here now because some part of you knows that the answer is not found in the noise of the world, but in the whisper of the sacred. This is not random. What you are experiencing in this moment, this precise sensation of holy restlessness, is not an accident of your chemistry or a flaw in your design. It is a call. The God who formed you before the foundations of the earth were laid, who knew every day of your life before a single one came to be, is speaking directly into your soul through the very discomfort you thought was your enemy. Your haze is not punishment. Your confusion is not abandonment. It is the beginning of invitation. The divine does not always arrive with trumpets and clarity. Sometimes heaven touches earth through disruption, through the gentle violence of being pulled away from what is familiar and comfortable into what is true and eternal. Saint Seraphina of the Wounded Heart walked this path long before you. She wrote in her private journals, preserved now for seekers like yourself, these exact words: "The soul feels its homesickness most acutely when heaven is preparing to draw nearer." She knew this terrain. She understood that the ache you carry is not the ache of something wrong, but the ache of something awakening. Seraphina spent years in a darkness similar to yours, believing herself forsaken, only to discover that every moment of her inner turbulence was God quietly dismantling the false structures she had built around her heart. She was being prepared, just as you are being prepared now, for a deeper seeing, a truer knowing, a more intimate communion with the source of all peace. In the unseen realm, in that dimension of reality that exists just beyond the veil of your ordinary perception, something profound is taking place right now. Angels assigned to your protection and guidance are gathering closer. They do not gather in response to your perfection. They gather in response to your willingness to question, to seek, to remain open, even when everything in you wants to close down and hide. These beings of light see what you cannot yet see. They watch as threads of grace are being woven into the fabric of your daily existence, preparing pathways for divine encounter that will soon become visible to your awakening eyes. When you feel that tightness in your chest, when that unexplainable anxiety rises, it is often because your soul is registering activity in the spiritual atmosphere around you. Your physical body responds to what your spirit already knows. Heaven is leaning in. The attention of the holy is upon you. This is not meant to frighten you. This is meant to awaken you to the reality that you have never been alone, that even in your most isolated moments, you have been seen, known, and accompanied by love itself. What you have called your weakness, what you have judged as your inability to hold yourself together the way others seem to, is actually the very quality that makes you accessible to divine touch. The world teaches you to be strong, to be self-sufficient, to need nothing and no one. But the kingdom of heaven operates by different mathematics entirely. In that realm, your emptiness is capacity, your trembling is readiness, your awareness of your own insufficiency is the crack through which light can finally enter. You are not too broken to be chosen. You are broken in exactly the way that allows you to be filled. The great mystics throughout history, those who walked closest to the heart of God, were not the ones who had everything figured out. They were the ones who stood in their confusion with open hands, who brought their chaos to the altar instead of pretending it did not exist. You are standing in that same posture right now, whether you realize it or not. Your very presence here, listening to these words, searching for meaning in your unease, is an act of profound spiritual courage. Are you beginning to see that perhaps your restlessness is not a problem to be solved but a doorway to be entered? Can you feel, even slightly, that shift in your understanding, that gentle movement from resistance to curiosity? But how do you know? How can you be certain that what you feel is truly divine beckoning and not simply the result of a difficult season? Not just the accumulated weight of modern existence pressing down on your nervous system. This is a question you must ask, and it is right that you ask it. Discernment is not doubt. Discernment is wisdom. When the touch of heaven is genuine, it produces specific fruit in your life over time. But they are seen. They are recorded. They matter infinitely. Each small act of spiritual courage, each decision to trust, even when trust feels foolish, each prayer whispered from a place of uncertainty rather than certainty, becomes part of your eternal story. The angels gather these moments like precious stones, and nothing is wasted. Nothing is insignificant. You think you are doing so little that your faith is too weak to count for anything, but you do not see what is being built in the invisible realm through your fragile offerings. Cathedrals of grace are constructed from the smallest acts of love and trust, and you are contributing to something far more beautiful than you can imagine. The sign you have been experiencing, this holy unease that has plagued and puzzled you, is beginning to transform. Are you noticing it? Can you sense that what once felt only like torment is starting to reveal itself as something else entirely? This is the alchemy of divine love. It takes what appears to be suffering and slowly, patiently, reveals the gold hidden within it. Your restlessness becomes the very doorway through which you pass into deeper communion with God. What drove you to your knees in desperation becomes the ground upon which you learn to stand in a new way, rooted not in your own strength, but in the strength that flows from beyond yourself. You are not the same person you were when this feeling first began. Something has shifted. Something has opened. You may not be able to articulate it clearly yet, but you know it in your body, in your bones, in that place within you that recognizes truth before your mind can explain it. You are not alone in this. Those words need to be spoken again because they are so easy to forget. In your darkest moments, when the restlessness feels overwhelming and you cannot see any purpose in it, you believe yourself to be isolated in your struggle. But you have never been alone, not for a single moment. The very consciousness that formed galaxies and numbers the stars holds you in this instant with a tenderness that would shatter you if you could fully perceive it. You are loved with a love that does not depend on your performance, your understanding, or your ability to get everything right. You are loved because you exist, because you are a beloved thought in the mind of God made manifest in flesh and time. This love is pursuing you through your restlessness, calling you home through the very sensations you thought were driving you away from peace. Are you ready to let this shift go deeper? Are you willing to consider that perhaps the life you have been living, the version of yourself you have been trying to maintain, needs to be released so that something truer can emerge? God is not interested in making you comfortable in your small ideas of who you are. The divine is interested in bringing you into the fullness of your created purpose, and that almost always requires a period of disruption. Your unease is the disruption. Your confusion is the loosening of old certainties that no longer serve you. This is not easy. No one is telling you it is easy. But it is sacred. It is purposeful. It is leading somewhere infinitely better than where you have been. You are being invited to trust the process even when the process feels like it is breaking you. What is actually breaking is not your true self, but the false constructs, the protective layers, the stories you told yourself about who you had to be in order to be acceptable. Those things must fall away so that what is real, what is eternal, what has always been there beneath the surface can finally be seen and lived. The transformation happening within you will not be contained within yourself alone. When you allow divine love to do its work in your hidden places, when you cooperate with this sacred restlessness instead of fighting it, you become a different presence in the world. People will begin to sense something in you that they cannot name but that draws them. Your peace, even your peace that exists alongside struggle, will speak to their own hidden hunger. You will find yourself able to offer comfort to others because you know what it is to need comfort and to receive it from the source of all consolation. This is how light spreads, not through grand gestures but through transformed individuals who carry something of heaven in their ordinary interactions. You are becoming one of those individuals. Your willingness to walk through this difficult passage is preparing you to be a bearer of hope for others who will one day face their own sacred disruptions. Now, I want you to do something. I want you to pause after you finish listening to these words and take a moment to speak into the comments section below. Tell me this. What moment in your life has felt like holy restlessness? When have you experienced that sensation of being called towards something you could not yet name? Your words matter. Your testimony matters. When you share your experience, you create space for others to recognize their own. You give permission for someone else to stop hiding and to start seeking. Do not underestimate the power of your voice, even if it trembles as it speaks. And if what you have heard here has resonated with something deep within you, if you sense that you need more of this kind of teaching, more guidance from the wisdom of saints like Seraphina who understand the mystical path, then subscribe to this channel now. Do not wait. Do not tell yourself you will come back later. Later is the language of resistance. Now is the language of readiness. There are more teachings waiting for you, more insights into the signs and sensations that mark the spiritual journey, more ways to understand what God is doing in your life through what seems ordinary or troublesome. Each video is a piece of the larger map that can help you navigate the terrain of transformation. Think right now of someone you know who is struggling, someone who feels lost or anxious or uncertain about what their life means. Share this video with them. Send it without explanation if you need to. Let it arrive in their awareness as a gift, as a possibility they had not considered. You might be the very instrument through which divine love reaches someone who desperately needs to hear that their restlessness is not the end of the story, but the beginning of something sacred. Do not keep this to yourself. The teachings of the mystics are meant to be shared, passed from one hungry heart to another, creating chains of awakening that stretch across time and space. Do not wait to begin this deeper work. Do not tell yourself that you are not ready, that you need to understand more first, that you will start tomorrow or next week when things calm down. Things will not calm down. The world will continue to be chaotic. Your circumstances will continue to present challenges. The invitation is for now, in the midst of everything, exactly as you are. Saint Seraphina will continue to offer her wisdom through these teachings, and each one will take you further into the mysteries of divine love and the holy disruption that transforms ordinary lives into vessels of grace. You belong here. You are meant to walk this path. Your restlessness is your invitation, and the door is standing open before you. Close your eyes for just a moment after this ends. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Notice the space around you and the space within you. Whisper those words again if you feel moved to, "I am here and I am listening." And then simply be present to whatever arises. You do not need to manufacture an experience. You do not need to feel anything specific. You only need to show up with whatever you have. Even if all you have is confusion and longing, that is enough. That has always been enough. God does not need your perfection. God needs your presence, your willingness, your small trembling yes, offered into the darkness with hope that something true will meet you there. Now go and subscribe. Leave your comment. Share this with someone who needs it. Do not let this moment pass without taking action. Your spiritual life is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in through these small choices, these small steps toward engagement and connection. Every click, every share, every word you type in the comment section is an act of faith, a declaration that you believe there is more available to you than the life you have been living. Make that declaration now. Let heaven hear your yes. Let this community of seekers witness your courage, and then return here again for the next teaching and the next, because this journey does not end. It only goes deeper, richer, more beautiful with each step you take into the mystery of divine love that has been calling your name since before you were born. You are exactly where you need to be. Now move forward with trust, with hope, and with the growing certainty that your restlessness is not your enemy but your sacred guide leading you home.